Now that we understand both the brief and the site, we need to explore the site and inspirations, documenting this as we go. You should visit the site in any areas that you feel are inspirational, and begin to record the site and your thoughts. Take plenty of photographs, and maybe even a few short film clips. These will come in handy later on down the line. When visiting the site, you should stop and take time out to just sit and observe. Take a sketch pad or some watercolours, and do a quick sketch of things that interest you. This stage of sketching and documenting is vital to the design process. The material you have gathered is very rich and will undoubtedly inform the development of your design.
Our next segment of the process is the idea of collecting and gathering a series of images that is going to help me come up with some ideas. The idea of using images for inspiration that are going to allow me to focus on specific ideas, certain aspects of the images that I'm going to try to incorporate in my water feature design.
We all understand the design brief collectively and individually. We can begin to explore exactly how we'll tackle our element of the design project. For me, that's the creation of the shelter. There are various ways of doing this, but they all centre round about gathering information. If it's practical for you to visit the location, you should take this opportunity, and while you're there, document everything that you see. The obvious things to take note of would be physical sizes and materials that you see, etc. But you might also want to take note of things like sounds and smells and atmospheres and moods, all with a view to making more informed design decisions later on in the process. While you're there, a sketch pad could be invaluable for jotting down initial ideas, but a digital camera can go a long way to giving you quick and accurate information. If it's not practical to visit the site, you could of course get lots of information from Google Earth or Google Images.
As well as visiting the site and sources of inspiration, you should have explored the history and the culture of the site online. Search Google and Wikipedia. These are often good starting points. This information may unearth some great elements to bring back into your design.
One way to lay out and compile all the gathered information is in the form of a mood board or something similar. Whichever way you do it, you'll find that there's a direct relationship between the quality and range of the initial stimulus material that you gather and your successful completion of the brief.
Once we have collected this information, we can begin using this to inform the design. For example, we might choose to take the curves generated by waves on the shore and work with these curves to create a similar effect with the hard landscaping or planting within our scheme. The imperfect reflective nature of the water on the beach may inform our material choice or another element of the design. Or the pebbles and the translucency of the sea may lead us to select a material such as recycled glass pebbles as part of our proposed ground covering. If you explore and document your work thoroughly, your sketchbooks will provide an endless source of inspiration when you come to work up the design.
So in summary then, here are some of the things that the group have decided are important for us at this stage. We're going to be very careful about how we share material. In fact, the way that we're going to do this is to set up a Facebook group. That way we can easily share our sketches, photographs, videos and anything else that we put together. We've also talked about the importance of meeting regularly, and if possible we'll get together at each of the important phases of the design process that are left.
A final point to make for now is that when you are generating ideas and forming the initial design, it is incredibly important that you work very closely with the other teams. It is your job, as much as everyone else's, to make sure that the landscaping, the water feature, sculpture and other elements all sit together well and all look as if they belong together. The scheme must work as a whole. This is important as it will be obvious in your final design if the teams have not worked closely together, as the final scheme will look like a number of different projects just thrown together. So, now that we've covered that, grab your camera and your sketchbooks and get working.